I have lost track of how many times I have frustratedly sat through Jurassic Park, the audiobook. I swear to God, Audible should sponsor me, for real, but they don't, and they know that I'm a mark for the product, so they won't. But I absolutely love the Jurassic Park audiobook and the Lost World audiobook. I love the Jurassic Park movie. It is terrifying when you're a kid. And I loved the Lost World movie. I love the Arthur Conan Doyle BBC Lost World as well. I basically love almost every anachronistic interpretation of humans clashing with prehistorical megafauna. Kill with sticks. Gotta kill with sticks because apparently dinosaurs have plot armor in the Michael Crichton universe because nothing works in the Jurassic franchise. And we've got Jurassic World Dominion coming out, which has kind of prompted this video. And this is going to basically be an open letter to my friend Ryan Gill of Gill's Primitive Archery, asking the question, could early civilization humans actually compete and coexist with Cretaceous megafauna if they encountered it in colonizing new parts of the earth? Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. Hope you guys are ready for your Tex Grebner Outdoors Saturday morning cartoon awesomeness, because this is going to be a weird one. Now if you guys are in the market for your trad life supplies and you need a code for a discount for free shipping over $100, use the code Tex Grebner in your checkout at Three Rivers Archery. Works on bow fishing equipment as well. Also, this video is, as I said, going to be an open letter to Ryan Gill of Gill's Primitive Archery. He's a friend of mine. He's what I would consider to be a primitive skills expert, a fellow minister of darkness for the gospel of the savage. So if you're in the market for oddloddles and self bows, check out Ryan Gill's Primitive Archery. If you're looking for a discount on Ethics Archery Systems, use the code TGO10. It will give you 10% off on your purchase price so that you can armor the front of your arrows at ethicsarchery.com. Now, while Jurassic World doesn't really have guns have proper physics, if you're in the market for some high-end hunting ammunition between 30-06 all the way up to 505 Gibbs, or you're looking to take a 12 gauge and make it actually be able to kill a raptor, check out my friends over at Aria Ballistic Engineering. Now I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy this week's episode of Tex Grebner Outdoors, because I am an anachronistic dinosaur nut. I am not a young earth creationist. I'm a weird mix of an animist and a Roman Catholic. Pray however you will to whatever gods or devils you wish. All of them are equally useless when you actually need them. That is why we call divine intervention a miracle. That is known as faith. It really can't be proven either way. So I'm not a young earth creationist by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel the need to clarify that going into this video because I don't want people to misunderstand. I also feel, on a very spiritual level, that if Eden did exist, I say if because it's a matter of faith, if Eden did exist, there's no reason to ever think that it happened in our plane of existence to begin with, so there's no reason that the Catholic Church and any other Christian denomination or any other creation myth cannot coexist with scientific fact, because if these are spiritual matters, there's no reason to think that the creation myths actually happened in our plane of existence. So now that I've got that out of the way, let's get to the fun stuff. We've got human history, basically Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Copper Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age. Also, I would call our current age of gunpowder the Alchemical Age. And we also have epochs of Pleistocene, basically, quote, Ice Age, with all the cool mammalian megafauna. And as much as I love Jurassic Park and that whole franchise and the reboot, Most of the cool dinosauria was actually in the Cretaceous rather than the Triassic or the Jurassic. Hashtag branding. Jurassic Park sounds way cooler. While I would never suggest that humans coexisted with dinosaurs on this planet, I do find it to be a fascinating thought experiment using the Beringia land bridge as an example of what if the Clovis culture got across the land bridge, got below the glacier line, and encountered not only the Pleistocene megafauna and existing Cretaceous megafauna that had been preserved and come up through Central America and Mexico from South America that was unglaciated, and you have Pleistocene megafauna and dinosauria in the lower 48 and Mexico coexisting with Clovis hunters now encountering even more monsters. Could human beings in the Upper Stone Age, without being in the Copper Age yet, have survived and competed with the dinosauria alongside of Pleistocene megafauna that they would have encountered in our reality? Basically very similar to Spear and Fang from Adult Swim. And I think that it's a fascinating thought experiment that I feel like bears examination by primitive skills experts, because the reason that I mentioned the Copper Age and the Bronze Age is my skill level is not in flint knapping or friction fire. I'm terrible at it. My skill level exists only up until, I would say, the Copper Age of projectile points. But I would love to hear what Ryan Gill has to say about could Clovis man have survived and competed against the dinosauria in North America and South America, especially because we have the new Jurassic World franchise coming out, and I predicted it years ago, with a dinosaur apocalypse. Now, in this one, of course, I'm assuming that they're going to do a terrible job because in the Jurassic Park universe, guns don't work because dinosaurs have plot armor. I personally feel like while we could not have, quote, evolved alongside the dinosauria, if we took a very advanced early form of culture with state-of-the-art tools for their age, and then we threw them up against the Cretaceous megafauna, I feel as if human beings could have actually taken down dinosaurs with Stone Age and Copper Age and Bronze Age tools and weapons. So I'd love to hear what people who know more about the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic tools and weapons have to say about this. Physical evolution of humans can exist provided that the consciousness and soul of man was created in God's image, because it's what's on the inside that counts. I hate the term primitive when it comes to describing culture, because madness shared by many is culture. And if you don't believe me, look around. That's still true. So I hate the term primitive because these people, they aren't primitive per se. They might not know how to program a VCR, which is also a primitive joke at this point. Like, they might not know how to program a VCR, but they could make fire under unfavorable circumstances and nap incredibly intricate projectile points with minimal tools and a hell of a lot of skill. So I hate the term primitive when it comes to these people that we're discussing, because I don't know how many people I know that can actually do primitive fire or nap flint. I know that I'm not any good at it. So anyways, these people were as good with their weapons as we are at texting and driving. Okay, when you see, for instance, paleo projectile points that are embedded in the eye sockets of mammoths and mastodons and other Pleistocene megafauna. That isn't because they missed, okay? That isn't because their weapons were inefficient. That's because they attacked the eyes of the animal to distract it. For instance, you could blind a mastodon with your oddlottle darts, and then somebody else could go chop the tendons with a primitive adze or stone axe. Animal, not going anywhere, and then you can finish it off. And I believe that that type of strategy would actually work for, Cretaceous megafauna.
If you're going to have something like dinosaurs living alongside, the Pleistocene mammals, you're going to have a lot of the other things that go along with it, like the dinosaurs essentially eating the mammals. Um, and when humans did live alongside a lot of really dangerous predators, and they really did just fine. You learn to avoid some of them. You learn to actually go and kill some of them. So there's a lot to consider there. Not really knowing how fast some of these dinosaurs are. Is it plausible though to kill a dinosaur, say with an atlatl? I would say absolutely. Now your absolute biggest ones, that's where you're going to start running into your issues just with penetration. But I would say it is plausible that you would be able to kill, physically kill dinosaurs with atlatls. I don't really see that being so much of an issue. How that would work long term, I have no idea. If the temperament of dinosaurs, are they more scared of us than we are of them, or if they're much like the Komodo dragons where they just really don't care, or crocodiles, that kind of stuff, where they're kind of scared of us. Like you never get around alligators that have been messed with people. You get a 12-foot alligator, he's going to submerge and he wants to go away. Some of them submerge because they want to come and eat you. So you're going to have individual temperaments as well. But that's about all I can really say on that. Is it plausible to kill them? Sure. Yep, we can do that. That I would say goes without saying, that we could force some projectiles into them to kill them. How they would live side by side, far too many variables that I could even wrap my head around without a lot of deep thought.
As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Just got my friends over at threeriversarcher.com. Thank you very much to those of you good cops out there, and those of you serving in the military ready to die for freedom anywhere. And thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.